Hello and welcome to Kya Hora New Zealand. All of us like to hear stories of how some people turn life's challenges into amazing opportunities, especially physical challenges brought upon them by just sheer bad luck. Join me today in my conversation with one such Kiwi Indian who was laid low by such bad luck and physically incapacitated for a while. But he didn't let that get in the way. He came out of his physical challenge to completely reinvent himself, creating adventures on land, under the world's ocean, and up in the air. Meet Sudhakar Prabhu, who, despite a serious injury following a road accident, has done all of this and more and continues to add new adventures to his life. A man who says nothing should deter anyone as long as the resolve is firm and that it is never ever too late to begin. And welcome to Kya Hora New Zealand. How are you this
Oh, hi,
morning?
Dev. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Let's begin at the beginning, Sudhakar. What led you onto this path of, adventure and doing new things?
Mhm.
People begin this sort of thing very early in life, but you began rather late.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what
yeah,
led you to this? I believe you had a personal challenge where you had an accident and that sort of thing. And despite that, you have
yeah,
embarked on this road. Can you tell us how this whole thing happened?
yeah. So it was always like this. I always had this, the streak of adventure in me, sort of. So, I was riding a motorcycle and I was going to work, and that's when I was hit badly at a roundabout by someone who just forgot about the giveaway rule. And, it's like a 2-ton vehicle coming at a 125 kg motorcycle, and then, you're no match for it. So they hit me. I cartwheeled in the air. I had all the protective gear and the right kind of equipment. So I did not get any injury except a severely broken leg because of the direct impact of the car. So that actually, it made me feel that it was because of no fault of mine, and, I was penalized for nothing. I was actually on the couch for nearly 6 weeks till it heals. And then, then after that, it's the rehab. So that brought on a challenge that I should get back to my fitness level, what I was earlier, and continue doing. So slowly I started going for a run and then for a longer run and so on. There was a pronounced limp. For almost a year, there was a swelling in my foot. That brought on a feeling of I should get back to where I was and, sort of pick up my exercise levels. So I slowly started going for a run. And then, I increased my distance. And then my swimming wasn't very good, but I always wanted to do a bit of snorkeling and all that. So I started swimming almost daily, and then I brought it up to a certain level. And from there, the more challenges started, that I said to myself, now that I can swim, let me do a bit of snorkeling. So I did some snorkeling, and then I was, after some time, I said, okay, what's the next level of this one? So, okay, the next level obviously is scuba diving. So I started looking at scuba diving institutes and the various courses I could do. So yeah, I pushed myself and went and did an open water scuba diving course, which gives you an ability to dive and learn the basic skills of a diver. And you can, of course,
Let me just take you back a little bit from the story that I know of yours.
yeah.
Before all this happened, I think you did a stint with the New Zealand Army.
Oh yeah, I was
How did
for a
you
couple of
join the
years.
New Zealand Army after coming from India to New Zealand?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really consider that as an option, but how come you joined the Army and how did you do that?
Yeah, so there was an opportunity to join the territorial forces. That is, it's not a full time, but you get all the training for the regular army guy, and you get to see that side of things. So it gives you the best of both worlds. So I was working with DB Breweries at that time, and so I said, okay, what should I do now for, some more enrichment, and experience. So I approached the New Zealand Army, and I got selected for the signals. So I served as a signaler in the territorial for a couple of years, and I went through all the training at Wairo and the other army training areas and all that in different aspects. all that they teach in the boot camp and more, kind of thing. And then, of course, when I broke my leg, I had to actually step down from it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was telling you about the open water course. Then I did my advanced open water course, which gives you some more skills and confidence. And then I did some more trainings. I said, okay, let me do something else. What can I do? So then I went and did a wreck divers course, and then I did a enriched oxygen, that is a course where you use 32% oxygen for diving. It gives you some different abilities and different kinds of dive experiences. And then I did various other specialties like a deep diving course, which allows you to go up to 40 meters. And then a dry suit course where you wear a dry suit, and you got to learn different skills to keep it inflated and all that. And gives you the ability to dive in colder areas and all that, and keeps you dry. Yeah.
When you were trying all these things, diving and all that, you started, as we said, at a relatively later age.
Yeah.
Any time did you find that, you, any sort of fear or hesitation or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, it does. Like I started my first scuba diving lesson at age of 52. So I think, yeah, definitely there is a difference when you do it probably an earlier age and an older age, because your reservoir of courage depletes. And, because of your life experiences, you have, shall I put it like this, a lower threshold of panic and survival feelings. But yeah, I learned to overcome that, and I'm very grateful to my, instructors and teachers who took the pain to teach me, and my dive buddies. And, I was able to overcome that to some extent. At the moment, I'm undergoing a dive master's course, which prepares me to be help the instructor with the course, take people for underground dive trips, and do some underwater mapping and that kind of thing. So I'm actually doing that course right now with Pahia Dive up north.
Where have you dived so far? I know you have done a few New Zealand and international ones, but which are the best locations, and where have you dived?
Yeah, so my regular diving location is up in Pahia on the Canterbury, which is ex-New Zealand Navy ship, which has been sunk exclusively for the purpose of diving. That's sort of my weekend getaway kind of place to dive. But internationally, I've been to Fiji, I've dived in Tenerife, I've dived in Woli Woli for a week. And then I have been to Tulamben, which is in Bali. There is a Liberty wreck there. I've been there for about a week diving. Various other places in Bali. Then I've dived in Rarotonga, I've dived in Cape Town, I've dived in Tahiti, and I've dived in Japan. And the wonderful thing was, everywhere I had a different experience. In Japan, there's an underwater mailbox at 30 meters. You can post it, and Japanese mail reaches it to your house. And in Tahiti, we got some underwater tiki. It's like a statue, traditional statue underwater. At the moment, my new plan is to dive in Dwarka, where there's supposedly a 9,000-year-old temple has been found, or rather the remnants have been found, and it's at a depth of 36 meters. So I'm hoping once this all this travel ban is lifted, I can make a trip to India and do this diving in Dwarka.
That's fantastic to hear. And this is the Lord Krishna city, supposed to be.
Yes. And it's supposed to be one of the ancient Atlantis, probably because of sea level rise or geological issues those days, or whatever turmoils have happened. The city is underwater, and it has been mapped extensively from space. But I would like to dive and have a look at it.
Sure. And where else? Where next from here? Are you planning to do any more activities? Add to your diving and do something else?
Oh yeah, definitely. My next level is, after I do my dive master's course, I want to do the instructor's course, so I can take more people through this. And there's a lot of people who are hesitant, even my friends and that, who want to actually do some snorkeling, who want to do water-based activities, but they are afraid of various reasons. But having been through it, and I know how they feel, I definitely want to contribute, show this increase the love for this sport amongst people.
Okay, so you've also done runs around, I think, around the bays and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I've done several round the base run, and also on the cards, I'm planning to do the Harbour Bridge swim. I applied for it this year, and I was going to do it in March, but it is canned because of the corona, and I'll be doing it next year. I'm looking for company for that. Training partners, so as to speak.
And you added one more feather to your cap yesterday, I believe?
Yeah, that's right. I did the Harbour Bridge bungee yesterday.
How was it like?
Oh, it was a fantastic experience. It was something which I haven't experienced before. So the walk up the bridge is very good, and it's a very nice jump from up there, and a very, very beautiful view. It's a 40-meter drop. You bounce a couple of times, and then, you know, that's the ride of the life. I really enjoyed it.
Sudhakar, in your sort of situation when they are hit by crisis like a major accident which keeps them out of action for months, like it did to for you. I think you were in bed for about 6 months and completely incapacitated.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose their will to do, even seemingly normal things. But in your case, you have just, taken the bull by the horns and done incredible things.
Yeah. Like I said to you, it was like initially first it happens, especially if it happens because of no fault of yours, you feel really angry, and you have to come to terms with it. It took me a long time to come to terms with it, because it shattered my work life. I was doing very well at work, and suddenly I'm out of there for no reason of for no mistake of mine, just because somebody at random has been doing some random acts. And it made me so incapacitated. If I needed a cup of tea, I have to ask someone. I'm never a guy to sit in one place too long, but I was like forced to sit, forced to take my painkillers, forced to isolated. So it really, then I went downhill, and then I started thinking to myself, what can I do? So there was only one path left. One was to be in that permanent state of sort of catatonia, and kind of say, okay, this has happened, and cry about it. The other thing was to start climbing back. So I took the hard route, and I started climbing back. But hey, I'm happy to do that again, and I'm more happier when after that experience. So I climbed back slowly and brought myself back to normal, and kept on going. My fitness level and other things, I started working out more, running more, and doing more of exercise. So yeah, it was a motivation which came on its own from inside.
What else is on the bucket list?
Well, there are so many things I want to do. Like probably now I'm focusing on that harbor swim. So after that, maybe I'll go and dive in some more places which I want to see. Probably more of Indonesia. I have done some side mount diving, so I want to go and dive some cenotes either in Mexico or probably in Australia. This is the underwater caves where you can dive. So that's definitely something which I'm looking forward to and want to do in future.
Finally, Sudhakar, what's your advice to people in, the sort of adversity that you found yourself in a few years ago?
Yeah, the only advice I have, and the thing I always do, is never give up. You got to go down fighting, like till your last. The easiest thing to do is to quit. And, that's the easiest thing to do. But I think that's not an option. You got to fight back, at least claw back a little bit. And I bet once you claw back a little bit, you can claw back some more and move on from there. So that's my advice and suggestion to people.
Thank you for speaking to Indian Weekend at Kya Hora New Zealand. Really appreciate your time, and wish you all the best from all our readers for your future endeavors.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dev.